Hey everybody, this is Rise, and I'm here with Diggity and Cholera. That's right, powerhouse triple commentary from my friends Diggity and Cholera. These guys are some of the best commentators out there, and this is going to be one of the best games to commentate out there. Bisu versus Savior to start off MSL Group A. This is going to be an epic match. These two players have a ton of history behind them, and Cholera, why don't you tell us a little bit more about it?
Well, of course, Bisu was the one who dethroned Savior when Savior was on top of the universe back in 2007. But here, Savior gets another chance to get revenge against Bisu. Of course, them two have played many times later, and Bisu has generally come out on top. Now, in this MSL group, by the way, MSL Group A, we have Bisu versus Savior as Game 1, and Magma versus Zero, two other Zergs in Game 2. But of course, everyone wants to know, will Savior get some vengeance finally against the great Bisu, who, by the way, is the reigning MSL champion, so it's going to be hard. And is he going to destroy everyone in 2009? Because, spoiler alert, but he hasn't been doing that great recently against anybody in 2009. So either he's going to have to do his destroying now, or he's going to have to wait for the lunar year of 2009, which starts in on January 26th. But other than that, though, Diggity, why don't you start off this game, man?
So we're going to be starting in just for singing purposes. 2, 1, 0, getting underway. Yeah, this is absolutely huge. Savior had the best ZVP. He would destroy opponents in general. He just destroyed Terran opponents, Zerg opponents across the board. But he was particularly good against Protoss until Bisu came on the scene. And since then, he's just tanked. He's absolutely tanked. I think the lowest moment was probably losing to PJ in the World Cyber Games, or perhaps actually I would say the lowest moment was getting dropped down to Team B, but trained hard since. B Team, yeah, all the way down. But now it's his chance to come back. Will he be able to come back and take an MSL championship? Will he beat Bisu? Will he stop this era of Protoss dominance? Will he be able to do it? That is the question. He's one of the players that we're looking to, basically one of the former big contenders, I guess. Another one would be Flash along those lines. But that's really the big question, is who can stop Bisu? Who can stop all these Protoss dominant players? Looks like Bisu's sending out, I think he's already got a pylon down. It looks like, actually, never mind, he's setting up for that expansion. By the way, this is Neo Harmony. Is it Neo Harmony or just Standard Harmony? I'm pretty sure it's Neo Harmony, right?
Yep, it is. Neo Harmony.
Yep. So anyway, I think that Savior, like you were saying, hasn't been playing that well. For those of you who haven't watched the game that Moletrap actually did of Savior vs. Best, go check it out. Not only does he cast a great game between the two, but he gives a lot of history between Savior and why there's so much talk surrounding him. So especially if you're a newer watcher of our videos, you might want to go check that out. It's on the Violet Tech account. But anyway, now after watching that game when Savior did play Best, who is a Protoss player, who, by the way, his best matchup isn't against Zerg. We saw that Best still was able to beat Savior pretty soundly, and Savior couldn't do too much about it. I mean, really, Savior is playing against probably the top PvZ player in the Pro League right now, I would argue anyway. And, you know, it's just going to be really tough for him to do much of anything against a player like Bisu. And I just hope that Bisu doesn't crush his spirits, because really, that spot should be reserved for Firebat Hero. So if we see this coming from, if we see Bisu able to destroy Savior, I'm wondering if he is going to be able to destroy everyone in 2009, even if it starts at the lunar year. And if that's the case, I mean, you know, he could be crushed once again. So we'll have to see where he goes with this.
Yeah, this is a big macro map. Harmony, of course. Bisu getting the scout inside of Savior's base. Savior was gone for a 12 hatch, whereas Bisu was gone for the Forge into Nexus. Very standard openings for both players. Savior electing not to go for Speedlings or 9-4 or anything like that first. You know, this is definitely a different option, but certainly not a bad option. And we'll see if Savior decides to go for that macro Zerg build that we've been seeing all sorts of Zergs do nowadays. That 5 hatchery Scourge Lurker or Scourge Hydra build. It's actually a pretty good map for that. And oh, look at this, we got some opinion polls here. I believe 66% probably think Bisu will win and 32% think Majayun will win. But look at this, Savior actually getting gas immediately and right in the face of Bisu's scouting probe. So I don't know if this is a great idea. Okay, no, he has expanded actually at a hidden location at the upper left. So he did go for a 3 hatchery build, and it's not that strange of a build. Obviously this is pretty standard actually for a big map like this. So most likely I'm going to guess it's 3 hatch lair, and then most likely going to go into a Spire to start off with. But a lot of options open for Savior and for Bisu, and we'll have to see who comes out of this. I am going to root for Savior here, but I do think Bisu is the stronger player.
Yeah, I definitely have to say at this moment, I got to go with Bisu. He's been playing fantastic lately. I mean, he's the MSL champion. The one thing I'm wondering about is that choke is very wide. That's why Bisu kind of has that giveaway along the side. He put that. I like that cannon placement to guard both. He obviously hasn't had that second cannon down, so I don't think he's falling for that early gas. And he saw that there wasn't additional Zerglings produced, but I think Savior is trying to indicate, hey, maybe I'm going for a 2-hatchery here, getting that gas a little bit sooner. I don't think Bisu, we'll see if he scouts out this expansion in the upper left-hand corner. But yeah, I gotta assume since he put that so far away, he's gonna have to rely on Mutalisks and map control and basically denying things early, because it's gonna be very difficult to defend that into the mid game. So he wants to make sure that he can pin Bisu in, maybe get some Mutalisks to play a degree of map control, deny scouts to that direction initially, and if that doesn't work, get some lurkers out there pretty quickly. The one thing I do like about this map is the third expansion. Generally the 6 o'clock, or I guess the 12 o'clock expansion. Basically, the additional expansion for Zerg does have a ramp, so it's a little bit easier to defend with lurkers on the field. A Zealot now crossing cross position. Basically, you can just do your standard plant the Zealots on top of the ramp. Makes it a lot more difficult to kind of push up. We'll see if Zerg actually decides to go more the Hydros lurker build as a result. There should be up momentarily. I don't think that Zealot's going to get any kills, but it is starting to scout that direction. This could be huge. If the Zealot manages to go in and scout this base out, I think Savior could be in a lot of trouble.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's going to be bad. Oh, he does get caught. He's going to lose probably. Oh, but he does pop some lings out with perfect timing, really, to try to deal with the Zealot. And he will probably be able to deal with the Zealot. But the damage has really been done. Bisu has scouted this expansion. He knew something was up with the 2 hatcheries, obviously. But it looks like that he's finally found that. And although he may not really be able to do too much damage here, he is going to be able to do damage later on because, oh, nice positioning with the Zealot behind the mineral line, by the way, making it very difficult. But Savior getting a good surround on him after the fact and taking the Zealot out. But again, this is going to be very difficult for him to defend down later in the game because he's going to be defending multiple fronts that are very far away. But look at Savior on the mini-map. A lot of lanes converging at the top of the map. Looks like they are going to go for some sort of run-by. And I don't know if he's got speed quite yet. It looks like he does. He does have speed. And so he's going to go for a run-by. No, he's going to go for an actual straight-up attack. I think he should really go for a run-by. But no, he's got enough links to do a lot of damage here. He's going to take out both cannons. Only one goon left. He's going to do a lot of damage to all the probes here. A Zealot popping out. Goon plus Zealot trying to defend with the probes. It looks like this is all that he's willing to commit in terms of Zerglings to this attack. But he's doing a lot of damage here. Bisu not doing a very good job of defending this still. He's going to lose almost all of his units here at the expansion. And it looks like Savior is going to take out everything but the goon. And now he's going to head into the main base, or try to, and take out as many probes as he can. Bisu is able to defend it, but in the end, he lost a ton of probes to that attack. And so I think that he's in a little bit of trouble. And now the Spire is out, and the Scourges are out, and they're going to take down that Corsair very early. It looks like, I don't know if he's going to make it. It's very close. I don't know if he can make it all the way back. One lands. The other is about to land. If the other one lands, he's going to lose his first Corsair, and that's going to be bad. But Bisu may be able to make it all the way back. And another Corsair getting chased away. So I mean, I got to say, Savior actually playing very well right here, doing a lot of damage. And almost takes out that Corsair, but that Corsair is going to try to maneuver his way out. Not bad play by Bisu either, with his micro, of course.
Wow, this is already starting off to be a very, very heated match here. Oh, one of the 2 Corsairs goes down. We saw the beginning of Corsair Reaver there from Bisu, of course, with the +1 air upgrade. So he needs all the Corsairs he can manage. Meanwhile, we are seeing that modern macro Zerg here. I'm glad that Majayun is actually adapting here. Instead of sticking to old builds which didn't work, he is adapting new builds, and this is the modern sort of macro Zerg build here, and it is a very good build on big maps. And I gotta say, we saw a little bit of the old Savior there going for that Zergling attack there. He is the master of outthinking his opponents. That's what he used to do. He wasn't faster than his opponents. In fact, he is one of the champions of StarCraft, one of the lowest APMs reputedly. He only has about 220 or 230, I think, in general, although that's whatever, we can debate that, but he is one of the slower players, and he is very, very good, though, with timing and with calculation. He is great in PvZ or ZVT or ZVP with catching his opponents off guard. When the Terran moves out, he'll send lings into his main base, and here, when the Proass doesn't expect it, he'll get, 16 lings, 20 lings there, and kill a lot of probes. So he is firmly ahead right now. He's picking up a new expansion, and I gotta say, he must be happy at where he is right now, and he's got Burl, too.
I really like that, the burrow out. That's where I think a lot of Zerg players in the past have fallen specifically to Corsair Reaver, is lack of scouting, as the Corsairs take down the Overlords and then they have no idea where the Reavers are coming. You got to be in position when those Reavers are landing, but with those Zerglings out in the field with the burrow, you kind of get a good idea of where they're headed. I also like Savior exploiting the opportunity. He knew he had taken down the cannons on Bisu's main base, or basically on his secondary, so he knew that those Corsairs really didn't have a chance out in the field, really traded with a lot of Corsairs. Ooh, able to get an attack right there. Shuttle doesn't go down, fortunately, but still able to take out a Corsair, but a ton of Hydralisks being pumped. Savior has a huge economic advantage, taking 12, taking 6. He has a brutal economy right now versus Bisu's 2 bases. Looks like he's setting up a trap to the north, just hoping that Bisu's going to go that direction. We'll see if Bisu does, in fact. Bisu's got to do some economic damage now, because if he does not, Savior is just going to run him over.
Yeah, my video's having problems. I don't know about your guys. Looks like Noah finally came back. And it looks like Bisu is scouting around with those Corsairs, see if he can catch any Overlords out in the open, do any damage that he can, excuse me, in return to Savior for basically beating him down early on. So, oh man, and Savior sees, he must see those Corsairs, and so tempting to just unburrow and start attacking him, but he's not going to do that, but it looks like he is going to be able to hit him with a couple of Hydras in the other side from the lower arm with a little bit of flank and trying with the Scourge, but there are enough Corsairs that he's able to take out the Scourge without really taking any hits from the Scourge themselves. So the Hydras are the only ones able to actually attack. That Reaver is out on the field. It looks like he's probably going to be heading out very shortly with a shuttle and that Reaver, I would imagine, considering this is Corsair Reaver. There's the shuttle in the back right base. It looks like he's just protecting it. He's probably waiting for a second Reaver before he goes and heads over that direction. And burrowed units everywhere. I mean, it looks like Savior is really being as he's totally holding back. I don't know if I'd be able to hold back. I'd be unburrowing right there and attacking the Corsairs, but very smart play, not giving away his position, and he's going to make the best use of that as he can if the shuttle does indeed fly over him in a few minutes. And it looks like we're going to find out in the next couple of seconds. And oh, burrow at the last second. Very clever by Savior. Looks like he's not going to get scouted by that probe, so well done by Savior.
I don't know. I mean, that pro may have seen the Hydras burrowing in, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. Savior's got traps all over the map here. It's a trap, Bisu! And oh no, Bisu's going left. He's got a... Oh no! Bisu, does he have any idea? I don't know if that probe could have told from the fact that the pylon was being built there. I don't know if he moved it over other areas and found out he couldn't build it, but it looks like his forces are actually moving away. I think he might suspect there's stuff there, though. So obviously Savior doesn't want to catch just the Corsairs. He wants to catch the shuttle, and now Bisu is there. Oh! But Savior coming with some Hydras to help out there. He's going to pick off, I think, most of his force here. Zealot Legs finishing just now, though, for Bisu. So Bisu, I think, is going to be able to deal now. And here comes the Reaver. He's going to get one Scarab off. Oh, it's a much Scarab, though. Doesn't do any damage to Savior's Hydras. And, Savior just wants that shuttle, man. And you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of, most likely, Savior's protege on CJ Entes, Effort, who we watched fighting Bisu last week. Me and Rise did a commentary of that. And that was a great game. I will spoil the results because it's over a week old. Bisu did beat Effort, so if Effort, who's arguably a better player than Bisu, couldn't beat him, can Savior do it? And looks like Bisu just going to attack this new base here at the 6, and somehow he's got one in the main too. He's got a Zealot that just walked into the main, I believe, and looks like he's not going to be able to pick off the 6, but now Bisu coming in with a drop now, so Bisu doing the multi-front attacks that he's so good with, and keeping Savior on his toes. This is going to be really hard for Savior to hold off on the left side, I think.
This is where Bisu just wins games. He's just so good at multitasking. Right there, Savior completely caught off guard, losing 4 drones right off the bat. He's going to lose production at this expansion, at least for the time being. It looks like he... I'm surprised he didn't lose more than that, honestly. Backing out. I really like the fact that he did go burrow here, because when you're in Corsair Reaver, obviously observers end up getting kind of cut out on the cheap, because you're building shuttles, you're building Reavers, both come out of robotics facilities, just makes sense. When we saw Bisu the last time I remember seeing Bisu lose to a Zerg player, it was to Quanro when he kind of debuted this build on Andromeda. 2 Dark Templar now out in the field. It's classic Bisu here, moving his signature unit, Dark Templar, out in the middle of the field. There are no Overlords in position. With those Hydralisks, going to have a lot of trouble. So Bisu, even though economically down, stuck to 2 bases, he is doing a great job of multitasking, keeping Savior back. Savior has a gigantic economy comparably, should have map control, but Bisu's just running all over him. And right now, let's see, the question is can Savior weather this? He doesn't really have to win any of these engagements. He just has to make sure that Bisu can expand and that he doesn't lose all of his economy in the meantime, that he just doesn't get run over. If he can just do that, he'll end up winning this game and continue to deny expansions as well. And it looks like he's going to try to push in that corner. It looks like the Overlords do finally have speed upgrade, and looks like that's a big drop incoming from Savior. I was about to say, I think that's drop, but that's only a single Overlord, but a drop pushing in. The question is will Bisu be able to fight this off?
You know, he is good at this. He tends to find these things out before they happen, but not this time. It looks like he's way out of position. He's got a Reaver trying to shoot Scarabs into the mineral lines, which is a retarded idea, really, and now he's forced to fight his way back up his own life, but it looks like Savior wasn't actually attacking with his forces. He's busy ferrying troops over and over and over and over. He's got plenty of Scourge out on the field, too. It looks like Bisu should be able to clean this up, really. I mean, he's got 2 Reavers, but they do not have shuttle support, so if Savior is on top of his game, he might be able to pick them out. Good Storms going out, taking a bunch of Hydras. It should be mentioned that Bisu is +1 weapons upgrade, and it looks like actually, Savior has not only +2 attack, +1 armor, but he also has +1 armor on his Overlords, and he's going after the Nexus! He's actually going after Bisu's Nexus, and it's on fire! Bisu, in the meantime, counterattacking to the 9 o'clock position. He's going to take this out with no problem at all. 1 Corsair going down, and the Nexus goes down, and Beaver's... Bisu's main base loses his Nexus. Oh my god, that's horrible.
Oh, and Savior is gonna get the shuttle! Oh! Savior takes down the shuttle also! So Bisu's Reavers, those are the things he needs right now to do more harassment. They're stranded at the upper left, and Savior knows this. Meanwhile, Bisu trying to set up a new expansion here. It's the Temple expansion, and it's about to go down. There are no Reavers coming to help him because his Reavers are gonna literally crawl around the map. Beautiful, beautiful Scourge there. There was just, I mean, amazing Scourge action there from Savior, you know, managing to just change directions right in the middle of that attack and go for the shuttle. And now Bisu is in huge economic trouble, even though he's won most of the engagements, even though he's taken out 1 expansion. Savior has taken out 2 bases. Bisu just on his natural expansion, and Savior with the +1 of Carapace, +2 attack on his Hydras, just making them absolutely so strong. And it's because he's had this strong economy the entire game. And wow, so many Scourge! Oh my god, it's a flock of geese. And those geese are going to take down all these freaking Corsairs. Savior's geese, let me tell you. Yeah, it's a gaggle of geese, and there's not even the Hudson River for him to land in.
Yeah, man, Bisu's in so much trouble. He can't even get his base Nexus back up. Hydralisks all over it. Savior using just using map control, moving back and forth with those Overlords, keeping the shuttles down with a huge amount of Scourge above. It looks like he's going to lose this Hydralisk force, but it really doesn't matter. He's in such an economic lead. Savior trying to do some counter-economic damage. He's going to see the high burrow. He only loses 4 drones there, which isn't too bad. Now a Mutalisk moving up, and there's nothing to save that shuttle at this stage. It actually looks like the Mutalisk is going to hold up. I'm surprised you can just chase that off. But Bisu in such a bad economic position. Savior still running at 3 expansions. We'll see if he can get another one down. He did, keep in mind, he did lose that expansion at 9 o'clock, although it had been mining for quite some time. And Savior has Hive Tech. He's just completely mining up. He's got all sorts of units out in the field. I think he's thinking about a killing blow right here, and he is very close to taking Bisu out.
Yeah, Bisu is definitely in a lot of trouble at this point. Like you said, only running off of 1 base, and look, he is going to be mined out of that in the very near future. Savior actually going for a change of tech here with a lot of Muta. I didn't know how many he was actually going to make there. It looks like he is going to make quite a few. He's going to get a little bit of a harassment out here. I don't know if he's looking to snipe that Nexus or what, but it looks like he's going to go harass the probe line there, and that's just going to bother Bisu even more. Bisu not quite having the units he needs, and oh man, this is all a big distraction. If you notice, there's only 5 or 6 Muta there. He's going after the Nexus. Bisu may pull his forces back. It looks like on the left side of the mini-map, though, Savior is going after Bisu's other side, but no, Bisu has a large force there, ready to intercept, but oh! It looks like he's going to pick off a couple of Templar as well, but good storms. I mean, really, it's very difficult to storm Mutas, but Bisu doing a great job there, catching a ton of them, and that Muta group is probably going to be cleaned up in the near future. But man, Savior has a ton of Hydralisks, and he's going to be doing a lot of work with them in the next couple of seconds. But we'll have to see if Bisu's able to hold it. He's got Storm, he's got Reavers, he's got Archons. He's using all of them to the best of his ability, and it looks like it is going to repel Savior for now. But Bisu, I don't know how long he can hold this out for. And continuing, Savior continuing with the harass. So very nicely done by Savior. And we'll have to see if Bisu is able to really hold up to this high level of harassment that Savior's putting out.
Yeah, I mean, Bisu is definitely pulling all the stops here. He's trying everything he can there, and he's got a lot there to stop off plain old Hydra's posts. Once Savior changes tech right now into something either Cracklings or Ultras, I mean, just some Dark Swarm, all those things are going to be able to defeat Bisu's one army there. And of course, Bisu cannot afford to lose that army. He has just one more base going up now at the upper left. Probes are not even transferring properly. I mean, that is a deadly Protoss ball there, if anything. That is about as deadly as we can get. We're going to see Savior trying to attack it. This might be a mistake. Savior knows it. Yeah, Savior's going to back off. There's no way Hydralisks can beat that. I mean, you could throw 100 food worth of Hydras and they would lose to that ball there, especially if it's controlled by Bisu. So Savior is just going to have to starve him out here or change tech, and I think either one is an option here. Savior spotting that DT there, probably going to send some forces to dispatch it. We'll see what Savior changes his tech to. Look at how many Hydras he has, though. He's macroing like a fiend right now. And, you know, he is way ahead economically, but he needs to take out these new expansions that are coming up now. Because Bisu, if he manages to hold that base, will eventually come back. And there we go. This is Savior's decision here. He's going to avoid that ball by going for a drop. And he's once again probably going to take down the Nexus and a lot of stuff in the main.
This is brilliant. He knows that all those units have to stay to defend that new Nexus. I almost said hatchery there. At the 12 o'clock location, he's going to drop on the main. All those units are going to be caught out of position, and Bisu's it's going to be a long time before he can get back there. He's going to lose a lot of production. If Savior focuses on tech, he'll be able to take out the tech as well. And it looks like, yeah, he's just going to focus on the pylons, make sure they're deactivated. Bisu's in a ton of trouble here. I don't know that he's going to be able to come back from this. Although critically, Savior and Lurker's going down on the back line. Wow. Brilliant. Just attacking straight through there. Is there detection even? Okay, there is an observer there right on the temple. A little bit hard to see. Yeah, able to take that out, but still that's going to keep those Reavers back when they really wanted to be defending the main here. Bisu losing all of his tech, the majority of his gateways. And right now, if you're talking about production, you've got 2 gateways that are about to go down versus 6 hatcheries. I think he has one at his secondary as well. And that's just not going to cut it. In about a minute or so, Savior just going to be able to completely run Bisu over.
I can't believe this, man. This is like epic turn of events right here. I really didn't think that Savior was going to be able to do this. It looks like, wait a second, Bisu actually had it out. Oh, the shuttle gets taken down, though. But Bisu going for a huge counterattack. In the meantime, with everything he's got, he's going to send it all to Savior. We may have an elimination race right here. I don't know if Savior has what it takes to defend this. If he can scourge whatever observers there are out on the field, he will be in pretty good shape to deal with it. It looks like he is going to... And he does. He takes out the observers, and now Bisu's going to have almost nothing that he can do against this. His storms are going to be blind storms. It looks like Savior is going up the ramp, trying to break that, oh my god, that Reaver cannon defense, which isn't going to happen. 23 kills on that Reaver, ridiculous. And 20 or 29, wow. Crazy Reavers. But man, Savior is all over the place. He's attacking on multiple fronts, and Bisu is not going to be able to hold this up any longer. He should either go with the counterattack and commit to that, or defend his base, one of the two, but that's all he's got left. Those are his only options at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Bisu's going to go for an all-in attack, but let's just talk about that defense there. I mean, there was a chance, like you said, that Bisu was going to overrun him, but he only had 2 observers, and that was one of the most beautiful Overlord Scourge snipes I've seen. And notice he was also putting Spore Colonies up. This is a strategy that a lot of Zerg players do, and it's a very good one, actually. I love doing this, a Spore Lurker combination. Use the Spores to kill off the observers, and then the Lurkers will eventually kill everything. Look at this! Look at, there's no observers! Bisu with no observers. He has this huge army, yet they can't see. Oh, and he doesn't have a robotics facility anymore. Oh, looks like, no, he has 1 observer! 1 observer for Bisu, but he's going to lose all of his buildings. His natural is gone, and now the drop at his last remaining base. It doesn't even matter if he has an army. I think he actually is going to get eliminated here by Savior.
Wow. And brilliant by Savior using Burrow to avoid Scarabs.
Wow.
Awesome. Save some
Ridiculous.
Hydralisks, and he's got enough. If he takes out that last cannon, he's gonna be able to eliminate Bisu just by buildings. He's only got like 3 left here. He's got a shield battery, a nexus, a pylon, and a assimilator, and
Lurker
beautiful lurker block, and he's just gonna ferry troops up. There's nothing Bisu can do anymore. Bisu is gonna get eliminated via buildings. That's his last nexus. The game's over. Savior has won. Huge victory to come back. That's got to be a big confidence boost. The player he could not beat, and he's beating him in his ascendancy, coming back. The champion currently. I can't say that he's in his prime because this isn't after. Wow. Elimination. You could not ask for something better for Savior. His promise looks like it might ring true. He has destroyed Bisu. He might be in position to destroy everyone in 2009. Awesome game.
I gotta ask you guys, what is more satisfying in a game of StarCraft than eliminating the other opponent to force him out of the game? Especially the opponent that has held you down, the one that knocked you off your pedestal, coming back and just completely eliminating him. I mean, that is fantastic. Savior's got to be feeling great. He's looking very cool, calm, and collected, of course. But, man, he is fighting back the smiles. I know it. You can see it, man. He's fighting it back. GG.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Savior, of course, knows the pain of elimination. This is like the reverse Savior versus Naura, when Naura eliminated Savior after a long game. This time, Savior gets to get the killing blow on a Protoss, and he's good at it. Don't forget, Savior versus TT, just 2 months ago, he eliminated TT on a game where Savior, by all means, should have lost. But in this game, of course, he was ahead from the entire time. And I gotta say, I think it was pretty much Savior's game to lose when he got those Zerglings into the natural expansion. Look at him, he's crying! After game 1, he's already in tears. He can't believe it. He can't believe what happened. Savior, Majayun, is just 1 Zerg away from making it into the round of 16. I am confident of his victory. The other 2 Zergs we're going to watch very soon, Magma versus Zero, and Bisu is going to go to the losers round to face one of them. I do think Bisu will make it out of this group nonetheless, but we'll see. Maybe they'll end up meeting again in the losers game. Hopefully not. I hope Savior does manage to come out of game 3, because I don't know if he'll be able to do it twice.
What an incredible emotional victory for Savior. He can't even hold back the tears after so long, finally beating Bisu. What an epic match. Perfect game. Thanks for listening, guys.
GG.